weather coverage you can count on with Alabama's weather anchor of the year, WAAY 31's chief meteorologist, Kate McKenna.
Well, all week long, we've been talking about that risk for severe weather that was coming to kind of ahead through the rest of the work week. Well, we're starting to see that this evening through tonight, all the way into Friday morning. Looks like maybe a couple of rounds of storms moving through. Our severe risk for tonight all the way through 7 a.m. tomorrow is for mainly locations along and west of I-65. That risk is higher across the shoals. Main concern is still damaging wind, the risk for some hail, and then of course there is that low wind threat for maybe a tornado or two. The WAAY 31 Storm Tracker early warning radar network for the time being just showing a couple of spotty showers, couple of spotty downpours just around North Alabama. There's more activity up into southern middle Tennessee and much more activity farther toward the west. We got this kind of broken line of storms from Memphis all the way south to almost South Arkansas. One severe warned storm. This is a storm that I've been watching for the past, I don't know, couple hours. It's been warned from time to time. There's a lot of lightning with this. And the main concern going forward here, it is going to be hail and it's going to be wind. This is the storm that is near the Holly Springs area in North Mississippi. At this point in time, it's about 80 miles away from western Colbert County. So that puts an arrival there tracking eastward at around 30 miles per hour by 7:07 later this evening. So that's kind of the leading edge of the strongest activity. Then we just keep those thunderstorms with us through the rest of this evening. And with that in mind, there is a severe thunderstorm watch that lasts until 9 o'clock. If you think back to that graphic that I showed you a couple of minutes ago with that outlined risk for severe weather, this matches up almost identically to where that risk is starting and then where it's at its highest just off to the west. It kind of switches for tomorrow in the sense that that severe threat's going to be higher across northeast Alabama than northwest Alabama with an approaching cold front, another line of storms coming through. This is the view right now over Guntersville. Still quite a bit of cloud cover, but we've also seen enough sunshine to warm these temperatures well into the 80s today, upper 80s for many locations. We're at 87 right now in Huntsville, 84 in Guntersville, 85 in Muscle Shoals and in Athens, and in Decatur, 82 up in Fayetteville. Here's the forecast tracker through the rest of tonight into tomorrow. And we'll stop this here as we go forward. There 6 o'clock. Still a couple of downpours, a couple of thunderstorms possible initially before the main show gets here later this evening. When I say later this evening, here's 11 o'clock. This is that entire complex of storms that we have been keeping an eye on that's around the Memphis area right now. It's right along I-65 and just off to the west before midnight. It continues to track eastward. There's 2 a.m. We finally get a little bit of a breather once this area of thunderstorm activity tracks up into East Tennessee. And by tomorrow morning, this data source is showing some more storms developing after sunrise, but not a lot of widespread activity. There is still some disagreement about the extent of the severe threat tomorrow morning based on the kind of overnight activity that we have. If we get a lot of thunderstorms tonight, that's going to lay down some cooler, more stable air, and there's not going to be quite as much energy for these thunderstorms tomorrow morning to work with before this entire system exits farther to the east with the passage of a cold front. There's 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, still the possibility for a couple of downpours even behind the front. And then as we get into Saturday morning, stray showers possible, some cloud cover, but it is going to be cooler to start Mother's Day weekend, and it is going to be quieter. So here's your forecast from start to finish tomorrow. Notice those storm chances really dropping off through the afternoon, and here's the outlined risk for severe weather. I told you it's higher along and east of I-65 for your Friday, and it's opposite from what we were seeing today. Still expecting the same, heavy rain, gusty wind, and that risk for maybe a tornado or two. 7-day forecast, here you go. Temperatures close to the 90-degree mark Tuesday and Wednesday, so enjoy that 73 on Saturday.